Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is going to have a blessed and wonderful day today. May God bless you and keep you in perfect health and perfect peace. Um, Before I get started, welcome to my latest subscribers. I welcome you to this channel. This channel is to glorify the righteousness of God while being real and transparent before you all. Thank you so much for the likes and the shares. Continue to share, you guys, the comments and my personal emails. Thank you. This video is like a recap of what I have previously told you guys before in my own situation. And this was prompted because um, there are people who are ready to give up in their stand for um, their spouse. And I was talking to a sister tonight, and I just said, why do people want to give up? And she said, because sometimes it's hard. This journey is hard. And I said, why is it hard? Why do you think it's hard? And she said, because you don't, see the manifestation of your prayers, or, it could be that the person seemed like they're getting worse and not better. Um, it's just a different variety of things that make it seem like it's hard. But I said, like, to me, this is personally from me and for me, and I hope you can relate to it. When I think about everything that I went through um, at the beginning, 8 months ago, and I'm going to tell you to put in a notice for a good paying job. And before I get started, this is by no way to discredit my husband at all. I love that man so much. Like I told you guys, he's the love of my life. Him being out there in the world, that's me. I feel like personally for me, I'm never going to stop because he is me. We are one flesh. We are joined in the spirit, and it is my responsibility as I see that he's hurting out there in the world to continue to stand and fast and believe in God's word for his life. This is not just about our marriage. This is about my husband, eternal salvation. And that means more to me than moments when, you know, um, I cry, because honestly, my tears is not of, like, I don't think it's going to happen. My tears is like, Lord, he hurting out there. You know what I mean? Like, him and family members I know, they're hurting out there. They don't realize what they're doing. And I don't want them to leave this world without knowing who you are. And that's my prayer, that every knee shall bow and every tongue will confess that he is God, that all of them will be saved and delivered and living their life in spirit and truth. That's what hurt me, because I know that there's nothing good out there in the world. And I know that the world is keeping them distracted, keeping them focused on the wrong things, where um, it's stopping them from seeing what is right. Or if they see what is right, they feel like they got to put in a lot of work to have what is right. They don't realize all they have to do is just truly accept Jesus in their heart and their mind, and he's going to do, the rest. Of course, we have to do our work as far as seeking him and reading his word and fasting and praying, but the burdens that they're carrying out there in the world is just not worth it. And it took for me to come out of sin to see how bad I was in sin. And because I can see how bad I was and how I know that hell was on my feet, that makes me emotional. That makes me not ever want to give up, praying for him and those in whom I love. I cherish him. I respect him. He's a king. That's not who he is out there in the world. That's not him. That's what the enemy has lied to him for years and told him who he was. And to me, that's a false identity. When you take on a false identity, it's many things that come along with it, and the outcome, of that is not good. But I'm going to continue to keep praying over him until he is brought out, so he can really see, like, wow, I never knew that love existed like this. Nobody really know the love of God until God really start moving in your life and you really accept him in your life. When you really accept him, he's going to start moving and just doing so many things in you where you're not going to be the same. And that's my hope and my expectation. So I wanted to just say that before I go into this recap. I declare and I decree that my husband is a free man, an obedient man, a righteous man, a sound mind man, a courageous man. He's a great man of God. That's how I see my husband. I don't see him, in any other way than that. Because he is, I got to be honest, he's the only man in my life that I ever had like butterflies with. Like, even to this day, like being in his presence make me feel like nervous. But not that, you know, like I can't say anything or, bad nervous. It's a good nervous. Like when I look at this man, I'm his groupie. That's just how I feel. He's the celebrity and I'm the groupie. That's just how I feel. So me and the sister was talking, and um I said, I don't think people realize, when I hear people ready to quit, I don't think people realize everything that I went through. Now imagine putting in a notice at a good paying job, not telling your family the entire time you thought you were in the reconciliation of your marriage. They didn't find out until the end, when I thought that it was going to legitimately be me moving to where he is, me putting things in our home that I thought was our home, furnishing the home, um, me uh, putting, giving out money here and there to make sure that we were okay, that we were good. Me then going to where he is, no family, in a foreign place, me trusting the one person that I truly love, um, just really believing that, we're gonna be all right, until I got smacked in the face um, with no, we weren't. So now here it is, you know, the husband that I thought was joining with me in the marriage has now turned completely on me, turned around and went back to the place where um, he left. I'm by myself in a foreign place, no car, no family, money depleted because I invested in our home. I invested in my husband. Um, and then having to do the walk of shame to come back home and look my family in the face and tell them um, that it didn't it didn't go well. Do you know how hurt and numb and angry I was? See, when I was in the world, I would expect that from a man that I was in the world with, because nothing good comes from a person, people that is in the world, that is not living for God. So it's like I can expect to be done wrong like I was, with the men in the world. Never in a million years would I had thought, by me living for God and really delivered now, that how my husband did me was the same way that a man did me when I was in the world. I could have stayed in a place of pain. I could have stayed in a place of unforgiveness. I could have turned my back on God. I could have stayed in a place of hurt, disappointment. I could have became bitter. But you know what? I didn't. I didn't let go of God. I can't let go because I know He loves me. And I know that even in the midst of all of that, of everything that I went through, that something good was going to come out of it. I couldn't see it at first. But when the Lord told me that I will never be bound again, He meant that. And I haven't. I came back, continued to just keep pressing forward. And the more that I press forward, the more that I press forward with God, the more that I pray, the more that I fast, my life continued to change. Now the Lord is pointing me His love. Now He's allowing me to see why the things happened the way that it did. And I have to take responsibility, as I told you guys before, that I was hoping so much, that my husband was ready. And he wasn't. And I really believe that, he saw his good thing. But there was a war raging inside of him, of the right and the wrong. And because the enemy saw that too, he just used certain things to beat my husband down with. And because of that, and because he did him like that, I believe that a lot came along with that, like guilt, shame, and condemnation. I'm one who personally, I don't ever want my husband to feel bad for anything that happened. In actuality, I gotta be honest and say, I have I have thanked the Lord that everything, for everything I went through. It helped raise me up. It helped me see love different, forgiveness different, being selfless, and walking in humility. It's helped me with, childhood things that I was holding on to. It's helped me with so much. What happened between us helped me so much that, as I told you guys before, each video you could just see the healing just manifesting because I didn't let go of God. To me, when you really dedicated yourself to the Lord, it shouldn't have been on the basis of Him just changing your husband or your wife. It should have been on the basis of Him changing you. It should have been on the basis of you want Him to be glorified through your life and through your marriage. It should have been where you're having an intimate relationship with the Lord now. Most people who are bound in emotions because and still going through about their husbands and wives is because honestly, I feel like the husband or wife is put on the throne of their heart. See, with me, I know everybody is different. Everybody's walk is different, but God is still the same. And if you really allowing the Lord to really do a great work in you, then you will never give up on the one that you are married to. I said to my sister, since where does it say that the vows expire? Where? Where is it written that your vows is expired? Didn't the word says that marriages is going to experience many trials? Adultery is very much so one of them. We live in a wicked and sinful world, and some people are easily to be persuaded to go, uh, do certain things like that because they're not strong in God. We can't blame people for things in which they're carrying that's not like God. You have to know if they had the Holy Spirit in them, they would not do such things against you, and most definitely, they would not do it against God. The Lord is true when He says that the women dead will be raised again. They will be returned back. They're dead. But it's going to have to take that woman or you man who is not dead to continue to pray and stand for that person who is. The Lord will call the Lazarus out of the tombs. He will set the captives free. He will bring them out of the darkness. He will take them from under the yoke of the enemy. They've been enslaved to the enemy. We can get so fixated on looking at what they doing and how they doing and what is this and that's like Peter. When Peter was focused on God and he was able to walk it straight and narrow, on that water, but when he got to looking at everything else around him, he got to drowning. He got to going down in the water. And what did the Lord say? Oh, you of little faith. When people say to me that they're gonna, do their own thing and they're gonna live for God and let God do what He need to do in their life and they not gonna stand anymore, what God are you serving? Because the God that we serve will never tell you anything contrary to His word. He said an unbelieving spouse can be sanctified through the believing one. But what the problem is, the believing one don't really believe in God, because if the believing one really believed in God, then they will never give up on the one that is an unbeliever. I mean, I just call it like I see it. And this is why I speak the way that I do. I have went through as well, and I don't make excuses. And I made a choice to go all the way with the Lord, regardless if anybody else did or not. But that means I'm still going to stand for what is right. And marriages is right because they honor our living God. There is no excuse that we can possibly use. These people are the ones that's in the world. They are in chains right now. But you can set them free. I said to my sisters, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, it will have to take the Lord Himself to come down off that throne and to tell me to stop standing for my husband. I don't care if he was with 20 different women. They not me. They not his rib. They not the one that's covering him. They're not the one praying for him. They're not the one laying down their life in love for him. I'm going to do that until the Lord tell me to stop, and He ain't telling me to stop. He's saying don't give up. So I just wanted to leave this word with you guys. There's no excuses that we can use. And when you really love God, why would you want to even use an excuse to get out of your marriage? Why? Because you see your husband or your wife turned out in the world? Well, look at what Jesus did for you. He sacrificed His life on the cross for you. Mocked, spit, punched, beard ripped out, all kind of horrible things. He sacrificed His life for love. Why can't you? With that being said, I hope you guys are blessed by this word, encouraged by this word. Don't let go. 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 Push past your flesh, because that's all that is getting in the way. And because it is, that means you're not spending enough time with God. Because when you really do, you're going to see them in a total different way. God first changes us to see the change in other people and to bring the change in our marriage. So I didn't expect this to be long again, so I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you are blessed, you are encouraged by this word. Um, Again, don't let go. They need you this hour, and you need God. Have a good day, a good night, and peace. Because it is like 1 o'clock 1:30 in the morning that I'm making this. So I hope again that you guys are encouraged and have a great night and a great day. Bye.